Y'all know what it is. It's the Find the Boxer game. Purchase a box for a chance at winning $500. One of 54 boxes has a missing boxer inside. Purchase your box or boxes by Cash Apping $, usual 50/50. Include your box number, name, and email address. Your box number will be confirmed and sent directly to your email. Each box is $20 with a 1 in 54 chance of winning. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Y'all know what it is. It's the usual suspect 650-50 draw. Buy your tickets now for your chance at winning half the pot. Cash App, $, usual 50/50. Tickets are on sale for $10 for one, $20 for 3 tickets, and $50 for 10 tickets. Put your desired amount, name or alias, as well as your email address, and your tickets will be set. We announce the winning ticket numbers every other Friday on Supreme Beats Boxing Talk Bullshit on the Beltway, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Weight enough flex, the livest one in the section. With the runner boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga, woof. I'm a 88 pack nigga, woof. I mean, day walker, drink blood, trains out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for.
And the father can get it. The father can get it too. I don't have a, DB3. We don't even have that. We don't even know what that is. We don't have that. We don't have a. We don't need that. Davis brothers versus the Vargas brothers. We don't have that. We don't have a. We don't need that. We don't have that. We don't have a. We don't have that. We don't have a. We don't need that. We don't need that.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. It's beautiful Monday, June 9th. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Smash the like button. Share the video. We are our own algorithm. Let's not leave it up to anybody to do anything for us. Let's do it ourselves. Well, I'll give you this breakfast. Let's do this roll call real quick. I want to cover some things. All around strong, my brother, salute to you. G. McCall, Joe, in here 2 times, man. Salute to you, good brother. Drumming for life, Mr. Shelton, Dow Big G, Steve L, the Mac, Michael Ray, the Sensei, Stormy B-Man, Mac of the South, Rod Neal, Amana, salute Queen, D Free in the building, salute HMC, AJ Moore, CB Sports TV in the building, salute brother, True Boxing Night, Egalitarian, what up? BVO, what up? What up? Eric Jordan, my brother, always supporting, salute, man. Shakila, salute my queen, how are you? Carter Face Stealer, Ratchet since 91, 704 Joe, DP Rocker, Corbin Phoenix, Shin C, Lance McCombs, where you been? Good to see you. Shepherd King, East Side, what's going on? Bernard Gilbert, salute. Smash the like button, like and share the video. Let's talk. K-Rod, salute. Mark Hairston, salute. Yeah, let's get to it. I know a lot of you I don't read the description, and that's cool. I don't read all the descriptions either. But it's important. Sometimes I'll put a waffles. What's going on? I'll put a title, and purposely it'll be clickbait, but it'll you'll see a title like, oh, what are you talking about? But if you read the description or listen to the video, Andrew 100, what up? Insane Talk, what up? If you listen to the video or read the description, sometimes I don't really write a lot in the description, but in this instance, something came to mind and I had to write it down. So either you listen to the video, but sometimes people, I'm not talking about y'all in general, but people have a short attention span nowadays. Rick Smith, salute. There's an explanation. You can have something that'll sound crazy or look crazy in the title, but the explanation will be in the video. It's like hearing a song, but the title of the song has nothing to do with the hook and what the artist keeps singing about or rapping about in the song. One of those situations. So in the description, because I already know where y'all gonna go. There's gonna be some haters in here that's gonna come in and say, but what about this? But what about that? I'm gonna disarm you with this. All right. The title of the show is Black Fathers Leading by Example. All right. Black fathers leading by example. We say it one more time. Black fathers leading by example. Okay? All right? Is it sunk in yet? Now, true, you can raise your kids the best way that you can, and when they get a certain age, they make their own decisions. That's true. There's a lot of people dead or in jail, and you look at their family, it's like, yo, this person came from this family and he decided to do that. Yeah, he or she decided to do that. They decided to do it. But as a parent, if you know you did the best you can, you provided them with every option in the world and rooted for their best interests and put them in the right direction, but they chose to do whatever they wanted to do, your conscience should be clear. You could feel bad, but your conscience could be clear. How many of these white kids from the suburbs? Oh, wait, I'll give you a great example. The crack epidemic that ran through the black community in the 80s and the 90s. That was that's just black people being black people. But when those drug dealers got on 95 and went up to Connecticut and started selling to those white kids who were fascinated with our culture, the negative in our culture, because it was exciting to them. They don't know anything about us as a people being creative and being peaceful. But they were fascinated by the gangster rap and how whatever we were wearing and all of that stuff. When they went up there on I-95 and got to Connecticut, started selling their drugs up there, and those white kids got strung out, then it became a problem because it hit their community. I use the word epidemic, the crack epidemic in my community, but the news didn't call it an epidemic. No. It was just another day at the office. This is what these niggas do. You think that we invented crack. We did not. Y'all already know that guns and drugs was pumped through our community. But people that don't think straight, they saw that as opportunity. They wanted to be the first to sell it and come up. And they didn't care whether they destroyed their community. And neither did the CIA or anybody else in charge, and that's fine. But as soon as those dudes said, you know what, I'm gonna start selling to these crackers up I-95, then it became a problem. They called it an epidemic. And then they blamed black people. Because you know what else was happening? The drug dealers was going up in there, and the white chicks were fascinated with them, and then you had a bunch of mixed babies running around there. It's like, oh my God, I'm a lawyer, and my wife's a plastic surgeon, and we provided our little daughter Carrie with all of these options, and she chose to roll in the bed with this black guy. Oh, no, I pay taxes. Y'all got to do something. Soon as it hit their community, it became a problem. But let me dial it back because I don't want to go into that direction. Because I'm gonna say this: it starts at home, does it not? Who's the leader in the household? And you see, these new age kids, they don't know that because a lot of them. And let me be very clear. And let me read this super chat real quick. Well, let me be very clear, man. Thomas, I see you. Salute, brother. John, salute. Joseph Brown in that super chat, much love. He says, salute to you, Drew. I keep hearing people call him Crash Out. This ain't no crash out. There's a crash dummy. This ninja blew the bag. Yeah, he did. Since everyone likes the pocket watch, how about pocket watch this? Now, I listened to the video that my brother BFTB did this morning. The word he's getting is that he's going to get sued. And I'm going to say this, justifiably so. I just told y'all yesterday, we're adults. Things that we do are, there's consequences. When you're an adult, you're held to a standard. You're held to a standard. This ain't high school where you have a fight, you get suspended a couple of days, or you go to the principal's office, then you go back to class. No. Everything you do, outside your home, inside your home, you have to consider the consequences. Now, who's the leader in the household? It's the man, head of household, man. Your mama might be swinging frying pans, but trust me, she's landing them because he's allowing it. Because the moment he defends himself, y'all know the outcome. All right. Now, I'm not saying women can't raise up in their house, and justifiably so. They have an opinion too. Okay, my grandma held the house down. Willie, my grandfather, he did all the work. Owned a couple of stores, owned a brownstone or two. Everybody had a job. Nobody was disrespected. Everyone had a job. Nowadays, women think being in the house and taking care of the family is slavery. Now y'all out in the field doing work. The government led you to believe that you don't need us. And 300,000 of y'all got laid off. And this DEI shit, okay, y'all are feeling it now. Y'all said, Uncle Sam, you're my new baby daddy. Okay. Now something happened, especially during this administration. Now what y'all got? Uncle Sam ain't gonna be fucking with y'all. The latest flex possibly may be, I got mental illness because I was fired from my six-figure job, or my six-figure job just let me go. Downsize, whatever. So now I gotta collect money from where? The system. When in reality, when we were saying getting with a man, and I'm talking to the black people, getting with your black man, that's the teamwork right there. Oh, but ain't no good men out there. No. How about this? You're looking in the wrong places, because the good men that take care of business, they're too short, they're too fat, they're too tall. They got big feet, they got small feet, they got little dicks. He only make 80,000. He ain't making 140,000. He don't like to party, he don't like to drink, he don't like to smoke. Get out of here, man. Cardi, Copper, what up? Get out of here. Y'all are victims to your own decisions. Don't cry now. Get to work. Do whatever it is you do. Think outside the box, because now the government's not helping you. You done chased the black man off. Niggas done got passports, and they're exploring their options in other countries. And let me park here for a minute. There's a difference between a passport, bro, and just a bunch of niggas on vacation. Do not mix the two, because niggas been going to the Dominican Republic for decades to get their nut off. That's been happening. Passport bros are exploring their options. They're well-mannered, well-kept, financially secure men who are annoyed with what America is bringing to them. And they're saying, you know what? I'm going to explore my options elsewhere. Are many of them street smart? Many aren't. Some are, some aren't. But the ideology behind the passport, bro, exists because of what these women have done. Listen to what I just said, the ideology behind it. And black men are saying, hey man, if I'm not restricted to stay here, what is the problem with me exploring my options elsewhere? There's no problem. You've done the best you can do. You don't have a criminal record, so you can travel. You've dated, it hasn't worked out because the expectation of these women are through the roof. And meanwhile, a majority of them have children out of wedlock, and they want you to come in their house and clean up their fucking mess. That's not fair. Do you want your son? I can't name one woman that will want her son to come in and clean up another woman's mess, especially since women know women. They know that. They know that's unfair. They know that. You know what else has been going on for years? European women, Canadian women, and American women going down to Africa and Jamaica and banging on these young black boys. That's been going on for decades too. So please watch your mouth. Y'all are not saints. Anything to drag a passport, bro. I support their freedom and their options to do so. You ain't got to stay here and deal with this. You don't. People get mad at the idea behind it. But what are you mad at, really? Think about it. What are you mad at? You say black men ain't shit. Yeah, exactly, Black Martial Arts Society. There was a whole movie about that. How Stella got her groove back. And in real life, she played herself because dude she married, he was homosexual. I ain't even going to get into all of that. The joke was on her, right? That's a real thing that happened. But the ending wasn't, the ending, they didn't tell the whole story. Oh, well. Nobody want to talk about that though, right? Black men, if you did the right thing all your life, exercise every freedom you have and don't let anyone shame you into doing what you want to do. You're a free man. We fought in every war. We've contributed. Felix, what up, brother? And Felix, salute to Edwin de los Santos. Salute to Edwin de los Santos. He paid the price. Out of the ring 2 years. All right? Shoulder injury and all that. And stood on business. Out of the ring for 2 years, made weight. And he did not, I repeat, he did not sacrifice his integrity as a person and sacrifice his safety for $1. Salute to Edwin de los Santos and his entire team. God damn it. Keyshawn got everyone out here looking stupid. Not me. Oh, no. Oh, no. He showed up and still got paid. That man deserves it. And truth be told, that wasn't a gimme win for Keyshawn either. Edwin could have fucked around and landed something. He could punch, period. Ask El Rayo. Ask Shakur. There's a reason why he didn't stand in front of him like how he stood in front of Josh Padley. Edwin will knock your shit off. But anyway, I just want to say, salute to the passport bros. Don't let anyone shame you into doing what you're doing. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a difference between a passport bro and just a bunch of niggas on vacation. Niggas been going to DR and banging for years. My older brother got friends since I was in high school. My older brother's 5 years older than me. He had friends that always splurging and traveling, and I used to hear all those stories. They're coming back with the Polaroid pictures. Remember the disposable cameras? You have to go to like your pharmacy to get them developed. Those pictures. I'm like, yo, where's this? DR. I'm like, whoa, this was like the late 80s, early 90s. I've been knew about that. But you know what's not as loud? Those chicks getting on planes and we know about those raft rides in Jamaica now. That's not new. I told y'all I had friends in high school, Jamaican friends that went home for the summer and they would come back. Yeah, man, me fuck this European chick, this European gal, and I'm like, yo, this nigga lying. He brought the pictures to school. I was like, yo, We 14, 15. He down there fucking grown woman. He showed me the pictures, man. So all of this stuff that y'all are just finding out right now, I knew about. I said, he lying. He said, no, me soon come. He brought the pictures back. We was like, what the fuck? Yo! We 14, 15. He's fucking grown women. White women. Black adults. Women. He was yo. Fitzroy, that was his name. Fitzroy was banging on chicks that looked like your aunt. And when you were a kid, everybody old. He was banging grown women. No condom. No condom. No condom. No condom. I say that for a reason. Those chicks are getting abortions, or they spitting out the kids and putting them on their. I'm telling you. They've been doing that for years. So the sisterhood, their hands is just as dirty as quote unquote the brotherhood. But the thing is, when the man is a head of household, let me get back to that. When the man is a head of household, listen, both of y'all could be working. You could be making $80,000 a year. If your wife is making $120,000 a year and the mortgage doesn't get paid and the family gets put out, who's the public going to look at? Even if they know the salaries. Even if they know the salaries. They're going to look at the man and be like, yo, how'd you let that happen? Yo, my wife makes more. So you know how to budget. You know how to budget. How come you didn't take control of the finances in the house? You supposed to be the man. You supposed to be it's supposed to be your last word in that house. I don't care how much money she make. Look, I'm the man in the house and I say this, this, and that. And if a woman understands hierarchy, she understands that men think different from women. She understands that she's an emotional thinker. And she understands that she needs to submit and allow him to lead. Quick to say, oh my God, but don't know shit about the Bible. But I'm gonna stop there. But the reason why, here's what I wrote in reference to this video in the description. No one is perfect, but striving for perfection sets an example in which you want your children to witness and internalize to the point where positive and honest work ethic becomes a part of their daily behavior. Normalize integrity. Normalize it. That might be too much word salad for y'all, but let me make it very simple. Your kids are watching you. That's all I said in this passage. Your kids are watching you. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I know how to write. Sugar-free salute, queen. I know how to write. I'm very educated. I studied debating in college, which is why I don't do it here, because every nigga that want to debate me doesn't qualify. I'm telling you they don't. Yeah, salute, queen. Weekend at Rennie's, I see you. To keep it very simple, your kids are watching you. Fellas, if you got a son, he's watching you. Even when you're not paying attention, he's watching you when you're sleeping. Enigmatic son, salute. Y'all ever been shaving in the mirror and your son come up? He like 3 years old and he grabbed the blade, or he just grabbed, a toothbrush or something, and he started acting like he's shaving, and it's like, you're like, oh, that's so cute. No, he's like really trying to be you. Anybody got that picture? So for those of you that are my age, any of y'all got that picture? I got a few pictures that was taken to me where I put on my dad's socks and his boots, and I'm like 2 years old, walking around in his big old boots and socks, and put on his hat, and I'm walking around the house. I'm trying to be like my father. He used to shave in the morning before he went to work. I'm standing in the mirror, imitating him. I'm trying to be like my dad. So much to the point where by the time I remember my mom came to pick me up from school, and I came walking out of school, and she grabbed me and hugged me. She said, "You walk just like your father." Didn't realize it, wasn't trying to, but I am my father's son. And of course, as I got older, you think you know everything. You go through that point in life, I'm like, man, why is this guy always bothering me? He's the first man to tell me, you've been there, I've done that. It was just a different time, but I've been exactly where you are, and you need to straighten the fuck up. Because I'm gonna tune you up now. Because if I don't fix this now, the world's gonna tune you up. And if I don't fix you, I failed my job. And when you get older, you can go out and do what you want to do. But remember, I told you not to do this, and I told you to do this. Is my dad perfect? I can imagine no. But to my eyes, yeah, because he did a goddamn great job. Born in Harlem, raised in New York, I do not have a criminal record. Not that many brothers could say that. A lot can, but so many cannot. Am I rich? No. Am I broke? Far from it. I have children, and they're watching me. I still don't hold the candlestick to my dad. I'm not as well-spoken as he is. I'm not as academically educated as he is. He has a master's. I do not. I hate school. But I'm very creative. And although there's places in my life where I felt I could have been, you can't turn back the hands of time. You see, my last name means something. And I was at a point in my life where I'm like, there's things I can't, there was things that I didn't do growing up because I realized, really think about this. All right, really think about what I'm about to say. I need you to hear something. It's a big place. Salute. Main biker, salute. He says, my son turning 18 next month and he's still watching me. Exactly, brother. And it happened so fast. I bet you remember when you brought him home. I bet you remember the first diaper you changed. It happens just like that. It happens just like that. Now, I had an opportunity to do everything wrong in the street. And I'm not a street dude. I may have looked the part because that's how we all dressed. But a street dude, I was far from it. Gerard, I see you. Happy Valley Farm, salute. Plaid Boy, what up, brother? If I missed you in the chat, know that I love you. I'm just cooking right now. Some of my friends chose to go a particular route. Most of my friends did not. Like 2 friends in particular, they went a route and, they goofed up bad. But what deterred me from taking a particular route, you might never know. While I'm sitting there saying, nah, if I do that, the police and, they're shooting people. And you know what I always thought? What would my parents think? I can't fathom being in a precinct. I already know what my mama gonna do. My mama from Mississippi. So she coming up in there and, oh Lord. She coming up in there throwing punches and bring the ladies from the church with the big hats. Those women were professional ass whoopers. Y'all ever fucked up in church? Oh man, I could do a whole show on that. I've seen, oh man, the ass whoopings. All those women in the front row with those giant ass hats, they were killers. Fuck John Wick. He ain't never seen those. He ain't never seen those. When you get your ass beat by a grandma named Ethel, there is no other ass whooping. That is the worst ass whooping. I'd rather get punched in the face by Deontay Wilder. I'm not even kidding. Miss Ethel will fuck you up. I'm like, yo, where did she even get the switch? There's no switch. There's no trees on the lawn of the church. Where did it come from? And she whooping your ass. And the pastor just keep on preaching. That's life. But you know what? That's discipline. Because as you get older, you're like, well, I wonder why I sit in church so still now. You know why? You done fucked up a couple of times. Tony, what up? So you get trained. I was trained. So while I'm talking about cops fucking me up or whatever, the biggest fear was being in the precinct and my parents walking up in there. If my parents walked up in the precinct and I did something stupid, man, y'all remember Legion of Doom, the Doomsday Device? My mama put me on her shoulders and my pops is jumping off the desk officer's joint and hitting me with the lariat. I'm getting 3D'd right there in the precinct. Get the fuck out of here. No. I was more cognizant of what my parents would think and how I'm envisioning my mama calling my aunt and my aunt calling my other aunt and all my cousins. Yo, man, why'd you do that? Freedom's March, salute. I'm not trying to explain none of that. Like in the movies, they be like, yo, yeah, come over here, let's do this. And the character starts thinking about it, and the camera zooms in on his eye, and he starts thinking of all these scenarios, and they all fucked up. And then in the audience, we laughing, but that's real shit. Because in a split second, that'll happen to me. And I looked at my boy and said, nah, I'm chilling, I'm right here. Remember I told y'all about my boy? We was on the bench one summer. Some unidentified car pulled up. Yo, we out. He's like, yo, you want to come? Yo, we going to go to the chicken spot. Da. And I looked in that car. I said, that car's running. There ain't no key in the ignition. That's the first thing I picked up. I said, hey, that's a stolen whip. I said, nah, I'm good. You go ahead. That nigga left the block. We ain't seen him for a decade. Weeks later, we like, yo, where this nigga at? Come to find out he got locked up. Fucking, I don't even know what, bro. Whatever they were doing, somebody died. And we ain't seen him for a decade, man. 17 years old, we done went to college, got jobs, came back to the block, and then he pops up like, yo, where you been? Prison. Wow. I said, when did that happen? He said, yo, remember that night the caddy pulled up? I was like, what? You don't say. And I looked at my boy and said, ain't no fucking key in the ignition. He said, yeah, that shit was stolen. Exactly. Wherever they went, we was invited. I sat my ass right there. You know why? I know better. I didn't want to explain it to my mother. Damn sure I didn't want to explain shit to my dad. And I didn't want to do my last name a disservice. You see, nowadays, these kids don't care. What Keyshawn did, he don't give a fuck. I would love for someone to throw the mic in his mama face and say, your thoughts on what your son did, because she got an answer to that. Years ago, there was a situation in my city. High school girl got jumped in McDonald's. And thanks to these young little nigglets, now a lot of these McDonald's out of here, they're out here. If you're a teenager, they're not letting you in. Because it becomes a hangout. They're not buying food. And if they're buying food, they're throwing shit around and they're getting into fights. So they're not letting you in. So that's another thing they started doing here. But this girl got jumped in a McDonald's, and they bust her head so bad she went into a coma. She got jumped by like 2 or 3 girls, I forget. And hey, Hardy, salute, Queen. And they started arresting these girls. These are high school girls. One woman, one young lady was turned in. And guess who turned her in? Her parents. 2-parent household. Remember what I said, that we make decisions though? 2-parent household turned her in. The other girl was arrested at home. I don't know what her living situation was. You know what the third girl they got? The third girl? Guess where they found her? You might never know. Hold on. Salute to Eric Jordan, that Cash App. Much love, bro. He says, after the first whooping in church, be ready, round 2. Yeah, bro. I've seen some ass whoopings in church, man. You might never know. They found this shorty. Coach, what up? Snacks, what up? And if I miss you in the chat, know that I love you. Nope. They found her at the airport. You heard me. High school student at the airport. Guess what happened? Her mom's bought a one-way ticket and was sending her ass to Jamaica.
What?
Yep. They caught her ass right here at LaGuardia. That shit was on the news. I was like, they caught her ass at the airport. It's like, shit, what the fuck? She ain't got money. She a college student. I mean, she a high school kid. Her mother bought her an airline ticket to Jamaica. Cause she was one of those kids. There's what you call Jamaicans here. I got friends that are born and raised here, but their parents are from the country of Jamaica. So they're American. So they can cut their accent off and on. So they could talk like me and sound like me. But when they get around their people, they say, I walk around there, bumba clock. It's like that. They understand it. So they were sending her Jamaican ass to family in Jamaica. And this girl that they assaulted was in the goddamn coma, fighting for her life. And instead of answering to that, one got arrested. They all went home. One shorty went home, got arrested. The other shorty, her parents took her to the precinct and said, no. Did the crime, you're gonna do the time. The neighbors ain't gonna be looking at us crazy because we didn't raise you to do this shit. You ain't gonna be looking at us crazy. You're gonna answer this. You're gonna answer this. Hell no. What does the other mom do? Try to send her out the country. Are you kidding me? And I'm just listening to the story, and everybody online was like, well, where's her father? Where's her father? I don't know. Is he in Jamaica? I don't know. Fuck your education. She was going to put her on the run. Let's say she made it to Jamaica. Okay. What are you going to do? Not come back to America ever again? How are you going to further your education? What are you going to do for a living? So they caught her ass, and I haven't followed up on the case. The girl didn't die. But you got to be kidding me. But single mom, huh? Single mom. You see, you put your ladies in charge. Y'all been in charge. I've been boss bitches for the last 10 years now. All I see, boss bitch. And this is what you do. When y'all got the baton y'all running with, y'all took the baton. You know what y'all did with your baton? Y'all remember that that track and meet situation a couple of months ago? She took the goddamn baton and bopped shorty upside the head and cried like it was a mistake. Rick C, salute. We all saw the video. She was burning your ass and you hit her. We all saw it, man. That was emotional. So what do we call dudes that get super emotional on here? Who get super emotional in the street? Do we not call them bitch ass niggas? You know, there's a meaning behind that. Let me break it down. Stop acting like a bitch. What do we refer to a bitch? A girl. Stop acting like a girl. Why you crying, dogs? Yo, he stepped on my Jordans. So you shoot him? Huh? You kids today are soft. Yo, let me get this straight. This kid shot up the school because he was getting bullied? Listen, you get bullied, man up. He say something, you say something back. He put hands on you, you fight. You might get beat up. But if you fight that bully every day, I'm telling you, you fight him every day, eventually he gonna stop, he gonna respect you. I seen it. What'd your daddy tell you? You ain't got to throw the first punch. When someone hits you, what do? Hit him back. You ain't got to throw the first punch. Hit him back. That's it. It's called discipline. I put together this little montage of all the black fathers in boxing. Because at some point, they're all going to be under attack. Keyshawn Davis just wilded out. Nobody's attacking his mom. And I'm not saying she's supposed to be attacked. Let me be clear. I'm not saying she's supposed to be attacked. Let me say this one more time, because there's going to be an asshole that's going to misinterpret on purpose what I'm saying. Because the fatherless prick understands what I'm saying. They just want to make a video about what I'm saying. I'm not saying attack his mom, because the black fathers in boxing shouldn't be attacked either. I just want y'all to understand the difference. They're not going to ask his mother, why did he do that? Because you know what her response is? He did it because he felt he had to do it. And it would behoove her to say, I didn't raise him to do that. And if she said that, I'd believe her. You know why? There's only so much a woman could do to raise a son. At the end of the day, he's gonna feel that he's a man. A single mother cannot raise a man. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. I don't care how dyked out you are. I don't care if you have a full sex change. You can't raise a man. You can't do it. Because he's around you. I just said there was things that I saw my father doing that I just instinctively do. If he's around you all the time, he's going to instinctively do shit that you do. For instance, how you talk, how you walk around the house. You're a woman, you switching, you wagging that tail side to side. He's going to instinctively start doing that. How you talk to your girlfriends over the phone. Yeah, girl. He gets a little older, he starts talking on the phone. Yeah, boy. It's like, well, why is he? Well, he ain't gay, but yeah, the mannerisms. You can't raise a boy. You can't raise a man. You're going to need some help. Every single mom that I know, well, not every one of them, you know what they did with their sons? They put them in karate, boxing, wrestling. They put them around like sports. They understood they needed to get their sons around as much male company as possible. He needed to know how to be a man. You raising that single boy, you raising that boy a single mother by himself. By the time he's 8 years old, he's switching around the classroom, and the other boys are looking at him like, is he gay? No, he's just been around his mom and his aunts all fucking day. You understand that there's a science for this? There's a reason why we say this. The stats show single fathers are better at parenting than single mothers. Look it up. Don't blame me. Look it up. We discipline different. When these dudes, when Keyshawn's a pro boxer, right? When these little boys, you scream at them, they go to their room. Something happens when they start going through puberty at 12, 13. By the time they're 15, they're going to be bigger than you. They're going to be stronger than you. Clean your room. Man, fuck out of here, Mom. I'll do it when I get home. Where you going? Man, I'm going to chill with the fellas. No, you're not. Yes, I am. Boom. What are you going to do, call the cops? There's a video right now trending. This West Indian woman screaming about her fat ass son. Y'all seen this? Oh, he eats up all the food. He lazy. He do nothing. This is the second video she put out. I called the cops don't do nothing. What are you going to do, put him out? You can't put him out. Where's he going to go? He's old enough to tell you to go eat a dick, but he's too young for you to put him out. He's your responsibility. You know, your responsibility, like how they tell men, hey, you made the baby. I mean, you laid down with her, but I agreed to make a baby. So what? You're still financially responsible, right? He is. You're responsible, buddy. That little 20 minutes you had with her, you got to deal with this until he's 18, 21 years old, whatever it is. Sorry. So that's your responsibility, right? Guess what? This little motherfucker that you raised in your image, because she put the camera on him, and I said, look at him. He's standing there like how she stand. I could tell. And he's tired of that shit. But he doesn't know how to be a man because she can do it all by herself. And now she online screaming on social media. Imagine this. Before there was a social media, that was still happening. That's why there's so many messed up dudes out here in the world today. You ask them about their father, they have nothing positive to say. And the only thing that they know about their dad is what their mama tell them. Why the fuck you think I stand in the pocket for Bill Haney? Y'all remember last year when they were on the top of the Empire State Building? And Ryan kept saying, where's your mama at? Where's your mama at? Remember that? Ryan, you have your mother and your father. And I'm looking at you. And I understand failure. Like I said, no one's perfect. Are you raised in your father's image? I heard y'all was living out of a car once upon a time. Where the fuck did your parents, you had both your parents, where did y'all go wrong at? And then when you pop dirty for drugs, you running around calling other pro fighters, trying to get dirt on Victor Conti and all this other shit. Couldn't find it, man. See, I know a lot more about this shit than all of y'all know in the chat. Behind the scenes shit. Henry was looking for dirt, couldn't find it. So no, not all fathers are perfect. No. Some of them are fabulous fuck-ups. But you guys need to understand something. I don't blindly support anybody. If I blindly support, I could easily be up here talking about, hey man, fuck that, Keyshawn will bounce back. But how am I doing a service to him and to the black community? How? How's this for a father? He's backstage throwing hands at a because somebody whooped his brother's ass legally, and your fucking seed is in the goddamn carriage right there. Now, if anybody ask Keyshawn Davis, moms, about this situation, she shouldn't get out of that conversation without addressing that boy had my grandbaby in danger. He know better than that. But getting back to what I was saying, teenagers become rebellious. Or what mom gonna do? Hit me? She can't hurt me. Man, let me go on her wallet and take her debit card, her credit card. She can't put me out. I just said, do y'all really know what Boys in the Hood was about? Salute to Ray Robertson. Salute to you, good brother, in that super chat. Much love. He said, you took me back to my childhood with the church ladies with the big hats. My aunts were handing out peppermints and butt. Yes, bro. They always had some candy on them. But you cross that line, when they get up, you hear them get up from those wooden benches, and then you hear boom, boom, boom. That means somebody gonna get it. And it's like, yo, I ain't do nothing. And then you hear that belt, whop, whop, ah! And the kid screaming, the pastor don't break a stride. Let's go to let's go to the book of Job. Meanwhile, you fighting for your life. No, you're not fighting for life. You're trying to block the belt. And they're like, you hit me back? You raising your hand? No! This is defense. Jermaine, what up? Lambros, what up? Hell no! But you was a little too fidgety in that seat. Yes, sir. If you know, you know. But y'all know what Boys in the Hood was really about? You ask one of these young cats, they might have seen the movie, but they don't know what it's about. Boys in the Hood was about male leadership. When Trey got a little older, his mama couldn't deal with him, so she had to call Furious Styles, played by Lawrence Fishburne. Come get your son. That's all it was. So he didn't become a statistic in the street. Now, their relationship ain't work out, but they had to co-parent. They didn't get along, but he had the reminder in the movie. You sent him to me to do my job, and I did my job, and he kept Trey out of trouble. In the beginning of the movie, he said, you're going to see how your friends turn out. And then there was a time jump. Doughboy done went to prison. His other friend was selling drugs, got shot, was put into the goddamn wheelchair. He's in school. You see what I mean? And going through basic life stuff. And he also raised him to respect his mother. See that? There have been times where I fell out with my moms and I'm so mad and I'm venting over the phone with my pops and I'll say something crazy and he'll stop me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't say that about your mama. Go ahead. Say what you're saying, but don't say that about your mama. Period. You know why? And I need you to hear me on this, y'all. That was his wife first before that was my mama. Think about what I just said. Think about what I just said. That was his wife first before that was my mama. Okay? Watch your fucking mouth. We got together and made you and your brother and your sisters. Okay? So watch your goddamn mouth. Because there's shit to this day that I'm just finding out family-wise. That I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, what? I didn't know that. Yeah. Watch your mouth. You understand? I get it now. 18, you think you know everything. Well, 16, you think you know everything. 18, you think you know everything. 21, you really, really think you know everything. Then you fall on your face for 4 years and like, what the fuck's going on? And now your parents, they aren't know-it-alls, or you know, now they're not the arrogant know-it-alls that you thought they were. Now they know some shit. Now you do more listening than talking. And when you get my age, you're like, man, you know what? They're kind of brilliant, man. I remember one night I wanted to go outside, summertime, right? And it was late. I was like 16 years old. I was like, yo, we just going downstairs. I'm gonna sit on the bench. My mom said, no, you're not. Any other night, she'd be like, oh, okay, you just gonna be in front of the building. No. She's like, no, I want your ass upstairs. Well, I'm upstairs, mad, but you know, playing my Nintendo, but I ain't want to be in the house. Cut on my game and I'm playing Nintendo. I fell asleep. Woke up the next day. My boy calls me. He's like, yo, heard what happened? What? So-and-so got shot. Where? Front of the building. What? Oh. You wasn't outside? Nah, mom wouldn't let me go outside. Well, I didn't see it, but there was a couple of cars riding around the neighborhood that were unidentified. The whole fucking day. Bunch of troublemakers, and they was looking for somebody and they found them and they just got to dumping and someone caught some strays. Wasn't looking for us, but it'd have been our luck. We'd have been sitting there because the person that they were looking for, we knew him. But the parents coming home from work, they're getting off the bus or parking their cars, they would stand in front of the building and gets to chopping it up about their day and like, yeah, girl, da-da-da-da. Wait, what's that car? Who's that? Those kids are our age. Those kids are our kids' age. Those aren't any of their friends. And they're driving. Ain't no plates on that car? What's going on here? You know what? No. So I'm like, all right, 11 o'clock at night, I want to go sit in front of the building. She was like, nope, you sit your ass there. See? Streetwise. Now, my dumb ass, all I wanted to be was outside. Mom saved my life. I remember calling my dad because he was at work late. I was like, yeah, Mom won't let me go outside. He's like, all right, well, she, won't go outside. I was like, yo, you can't tell. He said, I'm not doing nothing. She don't want you outside. You don't go outside. I was like, yo, over there. He said, anything else? No, you can't. Is there anything else? Boy, get off my phone. Bang the phone on me. Oh, I hate them. Oh, my God. I can't stand these motherfuckers. Blah, 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 blah. My mom's like, you see something back there? No. Man. Turned on Marley Marl, 98.7 Kiss FM. No, he was on BLS. Listen to him on the 1 and 2s, playing some Nintendo, and I went to sleep. Woke up next day, one of my buddies got shot. You see what I mean? Fathers. And the reason why I brought that up, my mother made the call, but my dad didn't override the call. You understand? So when women say, oh man, there's a hierarchy, then that don't mean I'm a slave. No. My pops wasn't gonna call my mother and be like, let the boy go outside. Get the fuck for what? He's like, no, she wants you in the house. There's a reason. He said, well, why can't you go outside? Because mom said no. All right, so it's no. Well, but dad, it's no. Play your Nintendo, man. Sit your ass down. How about this? You know what he would get me with? What's the last book you read? Crickets. There ain't no book named Crickets. That's how quiet it got in my room. Boy, what's the last book you read? That's what I thought. Sit your ass down. Anything else? Get off my phone. Dial tone. Mumbling and mumbling all night. Yeah, someone got shot. There it is. There it is. And we laugh about that story now. But there's going to be a point where I'm going to be going through exactly that. Because the kids don't know what I know. And I feel very blessed. At any point, my nephew, my niece, my little cousins, and my children, they can cut on my channel anytime. Because I'm not on here lying to y'all. I'm not on here. I might clown a little or whatever, but I'm not on here with bullshit. You see the Mason family there? They're next up. When I say next up, I mean a few things. Number one, they're next up because there's going to be a lot of great things coming out of that boxing group. Great things. And as soon as Abdullah or anybody catches a lot of fire, you're going to see a lot of unwarranted negativity out of nowhere. He's going to become arrogant. Oh, he's going to do one interview where it's, oh, it's not arrogant. Why? He sounds a little arrogant. Oh, I don't like how he answered that question. Look who writes it. It might be Cappinger. It might be fat ass Dan Raphael. It might be Steve Kung Fu Kim calling us woke. Hey, it might be one of the ops right here on YouTube. It might be Showbiz. You know, he's a crash dummy. They putting him in front of people he doesn't talk shit about just for them to verbally assault him. And they putting that on video for everyone to see it. He's become a crash dummy. Imagine talking shit about somebody and now you're sitting in front of them. And when they address something, when they calling you out your name because of some shit you said, you can't respond because now you're limited by that paycheck. Well, guess what? Anybody, any fighter that I had something to say about, first of all, I ain't lying about him. I might have clowned him, but it was all within bounds. At any point, they could pull up on me. I will put him on Tim Bradley. It could be anybody. I dare them to get up here and be like, yo, man, why'd you say that? Yeah, nigga, you got about an hour? because I will explain everything, and then I got questions. I got questions. What I'm not going to do is sit here and be a punching bag. You in my house. You ain't going to get up here and violate me. I'm not limited. I'm not restricted by a paycheck. I do this because I want to do it. Now, you want to have a conversation. You ask me why I'm saying this about you. I can explain it. Truth hurts. Your feelings are hurt. But you ain't going to call me no goddamn liar. As a man, I will question your moves. I will question your integrity, in which a guy like Tim Bradley completely lacks. The fact that he had to get on here, of all people, to call Keyshawn out and say, I'm no longer a fan. I said, okay, I get it, but damn, nigga, from you, after what you just said about Devin, unprovoked bullshit, challenging him to a fight, you supposed to be the OG. If you, I need y'all to hear me now, if you really care, it is nothing for you to holler at Bill, say, yo, let me talk to y'all. Talk to me about your performance off the record. I don't understand what you was doing. Explain what you was doing, because I know people are going to drag you, bro. I went through the same shit with Pacquiao. I want what's best for you, brother. And maybe there's some shit you don't understand. You see, he understands boxing. He knows exactly what Devin was doing. The thing is, he's jealous. And I told y'all before, jealousy's a motherfucking female trait. No grown man is supposed to be behaving in that fashion. None. That was disgusting. That was disgusting. You slaves are out your cotton picking mind. And if I was to tell anything to the Mason family, I'll tell them, keep doing what you're doing. Be prepared for the bullshit. You see, right now, they know all the negative shit coming like towards Audacity. What up? Bill. I can only hope that they don't think that this is an isolated incident and it can't happen to them, because it can and it will. You're a black father raising black men, and your family's super talented. You are a target, brother. You're a target. You're a target. You're a target. They don't want y'all thriving. They wanted Shane Mosley to get away from Jack Mosley. They wanted Gary Russell to get away from his dad at one point. They talking crazy about Boozy. They want Boozy away from his son. They want Devin away from Bill. I never heard anyone say, I want Lomachenko's father, Vasily Lomachenko's father, away from him. Never heard that. I never heard anyone say Teofimo Sr. need to get out Teofimo Jr.'s business so Teofimo could buckle down and take these fights and make these millions of dollars. Every time I turn around, Teo Sr.'s talking and coke flying out his nose. Never heard him say that. Even after all of the racist shit, never heard anyone say, hey man, Henry Garcia need to get away from his son Ryan. Why isn't Henry saying, hey man, my son had a meltdown, but what he said, we didn't raise him like that, man. What he said about black people and Muslims, he didn't say anything. And I'm telling y'all, silence is co-signing. They wanted Sean to get away from Kenny. Nonsense. It's always us. David Scott, salute. Tay-Tay in that super chat, salute, Queen. Said, cherish your fathers, please. Today is the day, the day on this day is the first year without my dad. I was blessed to have him in my life. Black fathers matter. Exactly. And salute to you, Queen. Much love. Might not agree with all the business moves that Mr. Gary Russell has done. Might not agree with like we was trying to make during the pandemic. We was trying to make Gary Russell Jr. versus Devin Haney. And when I spoke to Batman, JC, salute. Jackie, salute. When I spoke to Batman, he said, my dad just don't want to do it. And I was like, man. Now I didn't know. I didn't, I just said, well, why not? He said, I don't know. Batman told me, I don't know. And that was it. But he had his reasons. But I didn't cut him down. I said, oh, well, okay, he has the final word. He has the final word. Fight never happened. And they just buried their father. Last year, I think? But he did raise some fine men. I might not agree with Gary Anton his opinion towards the Haney situation. I don't agree with it at all, as a matter of fact. But he has to live with that. But for the most part, that father raised some fine men. And I wish the best for them. I already spoke about Batman. God bless him, but he made some choices. And you see where it got him. And it's unfortunate. I don't wish harm on anybody that looks like me. But God damn it, I'll be doing myself in the community a disservice if I don't hold their feet to the flames when they fuck up. And it comes to a point where you're a certain age, you should know better, man. You're already black, you're held to a particular standard. You have to lead by example. I love what the Mason family's doing. I love what Bill and Devin is doing. I love what Jack and Shane was doing. I love what Kenny and Sean was doing. I don't like what Sean says on his show when I've heard it. His takes, look, I told y'all, when Deontay got robbed when he fought Tyson Fury, and I came home and Larry Merchant was sitting on the when I was turning on the TV, he was sitting on the couch, and Larry Merchant made that bye Miss American Pie. This is the last we've seen of the Great Black Hope. I told y'all, I got pissed as hell when I saw Sean Porter sitting there smiling. I was like, what the fuck is he smiling for? He's not perfect. He's not. But did I want his failure? No. I did say I gotta watch niggas like this now. Did I want his failure? No. What did Devin say? Allah's a perfect planner. Now, whether you play the Allah, Jesus Christ, Buddha, the 8-armed elephant, whoever, pray to who you worship. I like to tell y'all, time reveals all truth. It's never on our time. Just wait a minute. The universe is 360 degrees. Halley's Comet spins the... You want to talk about spinning the block. The universe is one big loop because that fucker flies over us every, 100 years or whatever? Whatever. You get what you put out. You put something, you put some bullshit like that out, it's gonna come back to you. That's just life. Got in the ring with his buddy, Bud Crawford. And that's the last thing I remember seeing him in the ring. That's his last performance and him quitting. And that's Sean Porter. Quit? What? Quit? Quit. All right. How'd that happen? And I'm not running around here saying that's karma or whatever. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, wow, look, you talked A, B, and C, and look at you now. Look at you. Bernard Hopkins, I'll never let a white boy beat me. Well, I can name 3. Joe Calzaghe, Sergey KK Kovalev, and Joe Smith out of Long Island, New York, sent you skydiving. I'll never let a white boy beat me. My last vision, the last image I have of Bernard Hopkins is the boxing ring, is him falling out of the shit after a left hook from fucking Joe Smith. Really, dude? And I'm like, man, why B-Hop had to go out like that? Man, why he had to lose to Joe Calzaghe? I ain't got no problem with Joe Calzaghe. I ain't got no problem with Joe Smith. I do have a problem with Sergey Kovalev because he's a racist. And I said, man, and the Lord said to me, just wait a minute. You'll see. And then when those racist emails came out from Golden Boy, I said, oh, man, B-Hop's going to blow a gasket. Yeah, he blew something, but it wasn't a gasket. He blew something, but it wasn't a gasket.
What are you, a homo?
Because he was dead silent. And I said, oh, shit. He's Muslim, right? Why he treat Bill like that? Isn't that haram? Why he treat Bill like that? Invite him to the bathroom and shit. Why you treat Bill like that? After Ron Garcia cheated him, Henry and Bill went to go shake hands. He literally jumped in the middle of it and said, no. What's that? What's that? Really think about it. What is Devin Haney's crime in boxing? Because then he's treated like he committed a crime. Let's park there for a second. My brother, the international quiet storm in the building. Salute to you, brother. He said, fathers are necessary. I make sure I call my father every chance I get. He made me the man I am. F Father's Day. It should be Father's Month. Exactly. I couldn't wait to do this next week. No. I said, nah, this ain't going to wait. Because what happened with Keyshawn is clearly a lack of leadership. Clearly a lack of leadership. That's why I keep saying, you know, I want to know what his mom said. Anyone ask his mom? Watch this. I just gave y'all a scenario. A woman could be making $150,000 a year. The father could be making $8,000 a year. She's making more money, but if they get evicted out of their residence, everyone's going to be looking at the man. And he'd be a bitch-ass dude to say, well, she makes the most money. Dude, you're a man. You were supposed to make sure that didn't happen, man. Now, if Keyshawn's dad was walking around just supporting, not loud about it there, I support my son, da-da-da-da-da. That day, the camera would have been in his face. That day. That night, the next day, today, somebody would have had a camera in his face. Yo, why'd your son do that? What happened with your boys? They're not even considering doing that to Miss Davis. And you want to talk about black women aren't protected? Get the fuck out of here. Black men have never been protected, ever. You want evidence of that? Just pick up a history book. Devin ain't do shit wrong. But his feet is held to the flames for what? Becoming undisputed, the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era? Do you understand Devin Haney caught more hell for being cheated and being attacked racially than Ryan Garcia did for being a racist and cheating? Do you understand that? Am I in the fucking Twilight Zone? You would have thought that Bill is the worst thing that boxing ever created. If you let everyone tell it. I got stupid ass dudes in my comment section. When the video I put up, I made it to a short video. They responded to Beanhead Bradley. He said, we got some money for him. He said he want to fight. We got some money for him. There's some clown in there. Oh, tell Bill I'll fight him for free and all proceeds will go to a... Man, shut your stupid ass up. First of all, Bill will beat the shit out of you. That's number one. Number two, get the fuck out your feelings. It says nothing to do with you. Motherfuckers is jumping out of windows because this black man is supporting his son. That's all this is. And you sprinkle a little racism on that. Chavez Jr. is nothing like his dad. Don't nobody rip his dad. He did the best he can with that kid. But I know I saw a video of him walking around his apartment with high heels on. That was like 8 years ago. I said, what the fuck is this? He was walking around switching with high heels on. I said, oh shit. Wow. There was no outrage over that. And I said, woo-wee, wow. Ain't no one's gonna say that? No one's gonna say anything? Okay. Let that had been any black fighter. I mean, Deontay was goofing around with his family and twerked in his backyard just for the shits and giggles, and y'all ran around here for months. Oh, he gay, he gay, he gay. Y'all know Deontay Wilder's father's in his life, right? And see, that's another thing. A father not only instills discipline in you, but there's a natural temperament you have to let just regular shit roll off your shoulders because it's not that serious. For example, you live anywhere in this world, especially in the city, there's a chance that your foot has gotten stepped on by accident. Do you know there's been dudes that have shot people for stepping on their Adidas or Jordans or whatever? What the hell makes you do that? And I'm not saying that single moms tell you to do that. You need to understand. If someone's not there to tell you what not to do and how to behave, you think it's okay because it's instinctive. Well, someone said if you know, I heard if someone hits your back, doesn't that count? No. There's something called an accident. Yo, he stepped on my sneaker. He didn't say, excuse me. It's New York. That happens. That still don't mean you gets to fighting or start shooting it. Man, get out of here, man. Everybody's in a rush in my city to go somewhere. Keep walking. Man, fuck you. Yo, you stepped on my sneaker. I don't care. Fuck you or fuck you too. Walk off. That's it. That's it. It's over. Now you in central bookings because someone stepped on your sneakers. Guess what? You get locked up. They're going to take those Jordans from you. And you ain't going to see them until you serve your full prison sentence because you're going to get the same clothes that they took off of you when you're leaving in 20 years. Now, how stupid do you look? You idiot. You idiot. Black fathers matter. And we lead by example. By the way, this Keyshawn Davis slide, do you notice something about it? First of all, it says, my mom has hands. Second of all, if you look at the upper right-hand side, you see what it says? I'll read it to you. I know it's moving kind of fast. Give me a second. Best women's boxing show.
What?
Best women's boxing show. So when I see the Masons, I'm proud. I'm proud. Jack and Shane Mosley, proud. Sean and Kenny, I'm proud. The whole Russell clan, I'm proud. Boozy, Boots, proud. Of course, the Normans, super proud. Bill and Devin, crazy proud. And then I look at Keyshawn, and I want to be proud. But I can't. I can't, especially after the shenanigans over the weekend. I can't. And more on that tomorrow. Because like I said, according to BF, my brother Monster Musa, my brother, according to BF, I think they might be getting sued. Now let me ask you a question. Albright, if they pursue legal action, is that some sucker shit? Now you see how the world works? Now, Devin said, Allah's the perfect planner. It's not on our time, but goddamn it, to me, this turnaround was very fast. Y'all just got done telling us that lawsuits in boxing was sucker shit and get it back in blood. Now, how the fuck do you handle this? All you people that said that, how do you handle this? Keyshawn Davis, how do you handle this? How do you handle saying, because his opinion on Devin suing and everything else, oh, that's some sucker shit. Remember he said that? You don't know how to handle a loss. 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 Well, is this how you handle a loss? First of all, motherfucker, you miss weight. Coach, what up, coach? You miss weight. You done invited Michael Vick and Allen Iverson to your shit. They showed up and your ass ain't even in the ring fighting. No matter, one of your brothers got the dub and your older brother got stepped on. And then after the fight, y'all go to his goddamn locker room and start trouble, and you escalated into a physical altercation. You did that. And then your dumbass brother starts talking about, what do you say? I'm gonna get the recording. F the fans. Y'all not real ones or whatever. All this meltdown. Where is the leadership to say, yo, shut up, stop talking? Where's the legal action? Y'all guys don't have lawyers? Say nothing. There's a reason why lawyers tell you, stop talking. Don't say anything else. Because anything you say can and will be held against you in the court of law. Y'all think that was just TV shit? No. Stop talking. The more you talk, if you even sound like you're justifying this shit, they're going to hold it against you. Everything that they say is going to come up in court and they're going to flip it around. Especially if you sound like you're not remorseful. These dumbasses got up there and justified what they did and said, no, he threw the first punch. Nigga, why the fuck was you in that locker room? How the hell? He didn't have that speed knot on his head from the fight. He didn't have that speed knot. You did that, man. And in the video, they see you with the ruckus and your baby was there. At any point, his baby mama, because I don't think he's married, that's another shit in itself. His baby mama, at any point between now and whenever, can say, you know what? He's a danger to that baby. I need spousal support. I need child support. And I need custody. What's he going to say? Well, the baby live here. Look at this mansion. And, you know, he's around all my brothers. Yeah, your brothers that jumped on that Albright kid. Yeah, those guys. Yeah, you was running around fighting. You wasn't fighting in the ring. You was running around fighting a guy that beat up your brother, and the baby that she wants custody of was sitting right the fuck over there. We all saw it. Judgment for the plaintiff. Bang the gavel on this dude. And I asked y'all this yesterday. I can't think of $1 million company that will take a risk on him. And that's why Turkey is such an anomaly. All you Keyshawn Davis fans, all of you that are unconditional fans of him, that are willing to look past this nonsense, y'all better be ready to suck Turkey out of Sheik's nutsack. Because he's the only person I could think of that'll say, all right, you know what, look, Keyshawn, I'm going to give you this money, but the trade-off is you got to fight this guy, this guy, and this guy. And Keyshawn, you better take it if that's what's on the table. Because right now, ESPN is getting out of boxing. And on the way out the door, they gotta deal with this shit. All the MMA guys are like, see, this is why, you know, boxing sucks now. We get all the fights we want. Shout out to Dana White. They don't do shit like this. See? Now ESPN is saying, hey, man, damn. This is why we didn't renew. Bob Irma's 104 years old. I got to deal with this? What the hell? He don't like promoting black people anyway. Hey, Bob. Keyshawn's next fight. Your thoughts?
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
He's done. He's done with you niggas. And out of all the great talent that he's had, he's going to look at this isolated situation and say, this is why I don't like dealing with those people. This is why I put Lomachenko on a pedestal and anybody Latino on a pedestal, because a nigga does this. Thanks, Keyshawn. Thank you, Keon. Thank you, Kelvin. Bunch of dumbasses. Because what you do is a direct reflection of us. Stupid. Only in America you can have a white foreigner come over here and have the red carpet rolled out for him. They did it for Fury. They did it for Lomachenko. All those motherfuckers get beat. They eventually get beat. And nobody celebrates that victory like how they celebrate a black loss. If Boots loses, watch the celebration. Especially if he loses to somebody that he's not supposed to lose to. Why do you think they was trying to force that the public I'm talking about wanted that Teofimo Lopez fight so bad? In their heart of hearts, they felt Teofimo could beat him. Not necessarily because it's boxing, but because of what it could potentially mean. But they're not as loud when it comes to Devin. They're not as loud when it comes to Brian Norman. You see what I'm talking about? They're not as loud when it comes to Tank. You see? But you stupid, fatherless men, quote unquote, you black men, you're too stupid to see the play. Reality is we should be laughing and joking and celebrating and high-fiving, whether you're Team Mason, Team Davis, Keyshawn, Team Davis, Tank, Team Devin, whoever, Team Shakur. We should be laughing and joking, saying we got this on lock. The brothers got this on lock. We came a long way since the Black Murderers Row. I'm Team Haney, you're Team Tank. My guy beats your guy. You know what? Call him up, yo, let's make this fight. And wherever it happens, we need to show up and show out. If we go into the fight, we need to buy 3 pay-per-views. Make sure all of these brothers get paid. We should be showing up, meeting at the fight, eating food, high-fiving, wearing your best outfits, and rooting for to make the best man win and make it peaceful. We can't do that. Because niggas is gang-banging online. And then want me to open up the panel. Yo, I'll debate you. For what, nigga? I don't even want to fight. No, listen, black men. Do you understand I don't want to fight with y'all? When will y'all get that? When will y'all get that? I don't want to fight with y'all. Why? Why the fuck? What? Jesus Christ. Didn't your father teach you any better? You're a Tank fan. That's fine. I'm not. Drew, why you not a Tank fan? Well, shit, pick a video with his name in it and just watch it. And then ask me when have I lied on him. I've questioned his integrity as an athlete and his integrity as a black man and as a Muslim. And there's my problem. Why do you root for him? Baltimore. We do what it do. Okay. Well, I don't need to talk to you. There it is. I got shit to do. I'm working. And I get tired of my brothers acting a certain way. Because what happens is when we don't check it, what happens is, let me be very clear. Now the 86 in that super chat salute. He says, salute Drew and salute to the mighty. LDBC, man. Salute to you, fam. Salute to you, brother. Much love. Let me be very clear. I've fallen out with all of my siblings badly at some point. But when we went outside, the public didn't know about it. That's how I'd like to treat my own. I'm going to check Keyshawn. I'm going to hold his feet to the flames. But the second fat ass Dan Raphael starts chewing this dude out, no, you fat motherfucker, you are not allowed to talk about how he came in overweight. You came in this world overweight. You've been overweight since birth. You don't talk about how he came in overweight. I got this. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? This is from love. You think I wanted Keyshawn to crash out like this? And I ignored things that I ignored things back to back to back. The marijuana, he has a no contest because he couldn't put down the marijuana. I didn't even do a video on that. I was like, damn, man. Then his rant against Devin. It's not so much that Devin is family to us. It's like, yo, you not on code. Shut up, bro. Because what do we always say? What was we saying? What happened to Devin can clearly happen to any one of these guys that I have on the screen. What happened to Deontay could happen to anyone on the screen. As a matter of fact, let me take it back there. Do y'all remember when Teofimo Lopez called Deontay all kinds of pussies? He was talking about the tainting of the water in the gloves. And he got up there, yo, man, Deontay, yo, he a pussy. I'm calling up Tay Jones like, yo, y'all have a problem with Teofimo? What happened with y'all? He said nothing. I said, why is he talking crazy? So I was like, man, F that kid from back then. Many of y'all wasn't around for that. I said, no. I said back then he got a problem. But I kept it boxing. I said, could it be? I said, nah, he probably not racist. Could it be, though? I don't know. I'm watching him. And lo and behold, he didn't disappoint. He is exactly who I thought he was. So while you think I'm blindly out here just downing the brother, I read the comments. I know Barbershop Conversations put up, and he's rough on him too. But watch this. Call him wrong. Because he said what 78 said, what I said, what Champ Side said. There's even shit popping up on my algorithm from other content creators about this situation that we don't even fuck with. But we're all saying the same thing as it pertains to this. We're all not wrong. This is a blackout of the sport. Now, here's my thing. I already told everybody what happened to Deontay can happen to all of y'all. I told all you black athletes what happened to Deontay can happen to all of y'all. What happened to Devin can happen to all of y'all. The difference is Keyshawn inflicted his own wound. This wasn't the sport of boxing that did this shit to him. Deontay Wilder was a victim of the corrupt sport of boxing. Devin Haney was a victim of the corrupt sport of boxing because Ryan actually made it to the fucking ring. And by the way, if he didn't fight Ryan Garcia, you know what would have happened? He'd have fought homie on the undercard, right? Devin would have beat him. But you know what people be saying? Devin ducked Ryan. Even if Ryan still took the drug test, if he said, hey, man, we're not fighting him because he can't make weight, y'all have been bitching and moaning. Oh, Ryan's only 3 pounds over. Devin was scared. But we know better because 3 pounds one day means 20 pounds the next. But y'all want to talk about Devin's a weight bully and he rehydrates. Stop acting like Ryan didn't rehydrate to goddamn 180 pounds because he did. All of a sudden, weight matters, right? Y'all have been calling him a duck. And even if Ryan popped dirty, y'all wouldn't have cared. Oh, if Devin is such a defensive specialist, he wouldn't have got touched. You know how I know y'all have said that? What did they say about Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather? Goddamn 15 years ago now. I said, this boy was on steroids. He ain't never been caught. Well, he's ducking OSDT. Well, if Floyd is such a defensive specialist, then that means Manny won't touch him. That's not the truth, and that's not the point. The point is we want a clean sport. We want a clean sport, and you want to see a nigga go in there and get killed. Say what it is. You'd rather see him die. You had this motherfucker Southpaw literally put in the tweet, I hope Devin Haney dies. Did they close his account? Was he reported? After he beat Regis Prograis, he literally said, I hope Devin Haney dies. I have a screenshot of it. And I just watched and I said, no one reported this? Listen, I can't F-bomb on my fucking Instagram without getting a warning. I can't F-bomb on YouTube without getting a warning. I can imagine if I was on Twitter, just Spark Salute, if I was on Twitter and did the same thing, I'd get warnings. I'd get in Twitter jail if that exists. That's why I have a Facebook account somewhere. I don't talk on it. I can't say shit. I remember saying, this one, it was it for me. I said White thinks he's slick when he pulled out of the Otto Wallin fight to fight Tyson Fury. I said, oh man, White thinks he's slick, and I spelled his name correctly. I go text on another thread, and nothing's going through. I'm in Facebook jail. I'm like, what the fuck? And I challenged it, and I put in the goddamn commentary. I said, I'm talking about a boxer, Dillian White. Google him. It was a boxing thread. They thought I was saying white, meaning a white person. Because I've been known to retaliate against a Trump supporter from Kentucky who wants to call me all kinds of niggas, and the second I call him a trailer park cracker, I'm in Facebook jail. So then they took me out of Facebook jail and said, okay, but please be mindful. Man, fuck you. And I didn't close my account. I just left it alone. I stopped talking on it. Every now and again, I get, they let me know that, oh man, you got this, you got that. Man, shut up. Shut up. I ain't got nothing to say to y'all. I'm about to pimp them for some bread though. Oh yeah, Black Martial Arts Society, absolutely. I'm about to pimp them for some bread though. I got a Facebook account. I got to figure out how to get back on it. And I'm going to start streaming live from there too. Hey. Whatever. During that whole Trump administration, that shit got crazy. Nigger this, nigger that, nigger. The second you be like, man, shut up, cracker. You in jail. They got this new thing they running around saying, even on ESPN, they call them YNs. I'm telling you right now, man. You new style dudes are so lost, man. I swear to God, man. I swear to God. Heard a black man say it on what was it, an NBA show? He said, man, these YNs. And I'm like, oh, whoa. Telling you. In a moment, Skip Brainless says it. Look, these YNs are real. What? I was giving them a credit. That's what you guys say. These YNs are real. They're running up and down the floor. They're dunking. I haven't seen anything like this since the Michael Jordan's Bulls. The second he says it, y'all gonna have a problem. I'm gonna tell y'all, shut the fuck up. Y'all did this. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. I am not defending y'all anymore. I'm not doing it. You know why? Whenever I step in and say, look, brothers, don't do this, don't do that, you shouldn't do it, because your daddy ain't tell you. Because your daddy ain't tell you. I'm going to say it louder. Because your daddy didn't tell you. If I step in with love. And I say, look, man, young brothers, don't do that. Don't say that. Oh, man, y'all old niggas. That's the first thing they say. Oh, y'all old. It's not like it was in the 80s or 90s. Oh, y'all old niggas. Y'all old niggas. Okay. Y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead. Your daddy failed you. Fuck my daddy. No, your mama fucked your daddy. And he ran the fuck off, which is why you're fucked off. But don't listen to me. I'm an old nigga. Nobody respects the village anymore. At all. Nobody respects the village anymore. Nobody. The village has collapsed. Because there's a lack of leadership. There's a lack of men. And that's why Keyshawn fucked off. Todd French in that super chat, much love and appreciation. He says, that's why I stay cooking clowns. Cook, Drew, hashtag real one. I'm on a job, brother. This was not about boxing this morning. This is about a lack of control, a lack of integrity, and further proof why fathers are important. When Devin Haney got into that situation at that park, nobody wants to talk about what that was really about. They didn't go in there and start bullying people. A wild-ass Ryan Garcia fan just ran up to him, and it was in a menacing manner. Devin threw a punch because he felt he had to defend himself. But the reason why he ain't square up, because if he squared up, he'd have fucked that fat kid up. But he second thought it and he walked off because he's the bag. He said, man, I ain't gonna pay this fucking kid. And that was the end of it. And instead of y'all niggas saying, well, that's a good job. Oh, he lost himself a little bit, but he gained control. Instead of y'all saying, hey, that wild-ass Ryan Garcia fan was out of line for that. Instead of you brothers standing in the pocket and saying, hey, man, look, I don't like Devin, but goddamn, I don't want people running up on him in the street. That's something else. What did y'all say? Oh, Pillow Fist, he couldn't even knock out a civilian. Y'all like that shit, right? I got out of bed. Oh, Tank pulled up on Devin. I'm like, all right, let me see what's going on here. You know what's going on? Nothing. It was a glorified minstrel show, courtesy of Tank Davis. I'm on your side. I'm on your side. Taking pictures by his car. Literally in striking distance of Devin Haney. He's laughing at you and smiling at you. I thought it was on site. What you supposed to do, start rolling in the street? But the amount of niggas that celebrated this, the amount of knuckle draggers that celebrated this, you ought to be ashamed. But you know what it is? There's no shame. You know why? Because your single mothers took away shame. I mean, really, really think about this. You ought to be ashamed, but there's no shame. But think about what I'm saying. Your mama is short, fat. None of your siblings look alike. You got 3 different fathers. Or who dropped off that McDonald's? Oh, that was Ted's father. That ain't my daddy. All right? She's always on the phone. She's always going out, turning up. You know what I'm saying? Just making the ends meet. She exists off of some child support. And she's mad at all 3 of your brothers because all 3 of y'all, who, although y'all don't look alike, y'all look like the niggas that impregnated your mama. So you're upset. And your mama overweight, but she got a big old ass, so she gets attention. She crying in her room by herself. Mama, you okay? Just go to bed. You go to bed, she's sneaking out the house. She paid the rent in it. Well, the child support pays the rent. But she got to go turn up every weekend though, right? You don't know your father, but you got a lot of uncles because niggas be in and out your crib. You know why she's doing that? Because the village hasn't shamed her. Girl got 3 boys by 3 different dudes, and she going out every day. She looking like a prostitute with her ass cheeks out. Oh my God. Women, y'all are streetwalkers nowadays. I see y'all out and about. I swear to God, there's a spot up here in the Bronx called Hunts Point. It used to be flooded with prostitutes. Girls walking around the streets over there, and the girls walking around in the summertime today, I can't tell the difference. I can't. I can't tell. And y'all don't care. Because y'all gonna do what y'all do. And that's okay. Because can't no one tell you anything. So we stopped talking. And the single men got their passports because they have better options than that shit. You understand? Oh, mad dudes be in my DMs for what? Your ass is out all over your social media. They're not in there because your wife material. They want to see how much it costs. They want to get their ding-a-ling wet. And many of you chicks oblige them. You think I'm playing? Go to any chick's Instagram account when she got her ass out and keep scrolling. Eventually, there's a 90% chance you see her. She's twerking one video. She got a booty out in the other video. You go down far enough. You know what you see? Her with her child. Her and her child. I've seen enough of that. I'm like, yo, wait a minute. I thought, eye candy. Now you in there with your daughter? What are you teaching your son? What are you teaching your daughter? What? They've normalized ratchet behavior. They normalized horse behavior. And these single mothers are raising Keyshawn Davis. He's a kid that don't know how to handle his emotions. And those are the worst kinds of niggas. Just like he did what he did right there. If he had a gun, he'd have shot it. Salute to the Masons. Salute to the Haneys. Salute to the Normans. Salute to the Porters. Salute to the Ennis. Salute to all of them. Salute to the Mosleys. Salute to all of them. Keyshawn, you act like the thug that they think we are, so you deal with this, bruh. You deal with it. Tomorrow is Monkey Tuesday. Because the other side to this is how Keyshawn's about to be treated. And let me be very clear when I say this. All of you cats talking about, oh man, why y'all coming down on the black man? Right? Oh, now y'all want to talk about being easy on the black man because he made a mistake. Devin didn't make no mistake, and y'all dragged him. And here we are holding this clown accountable. Y'all want to talk about, oh man, you just made a mistake. No, fuck that. He should know better at this point. And they're about to drag him, and he's about to lose money. But watch this. What was worse, what he did or what Ryan Garcia did? That's a trick question. I'll let y'all sleep on that. But guess what? Who's getting the better treatment? Uh-oh. And I will see y'all Monkey Tuesday. General's on. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chat. And Pep Talk tonight. I put it off for the last couple of days because I was tired. I'm a content creator. I don't just get up here and come on the computer and start talking. I'm a creator. All right. That's why most people can't do what I do. They can't do what I do. So I got a stalker in Baltimore, another one. While I'm talking about this and real shit, he can't do this because he's not educated, because he's a product of this bullshit. And if you had a father, he failed you. General's on. Let's head over there, man. See y'all. Bonks on deck.
Move!
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
And the father can get it. The father can get it too. I don't have a, you know, DB3. We don't even have that. We don't even know what that is. We don't have that. We don't have a. We don't need that. Davis brothers versus the Vargas brothers. We don't have that. We don't have a. We don't need that. We don't have that. We don't have a. We don't have that. We don't have a. We don't need that. We don't need that.
All my troubles come more nigga. Yeah, it makes me mad. Why you niggas are so against somebody for you?
How much longer do you think your mom
Makes me so mad. Long enough to beat your ass if you fuck up. That's right. You might not get out of the stadium tonight. You gotta be cool because you been watched.